Aloha and good morning, everyone. You got Elle here. I am a coach with the Be With Your Twin Flame program. Today, we're going to be talking about something that, it doesn't come up quite as often about the twin flame journey. You see our videos and you hear us talking about it. And so many times this journey is one of seemingly the most difficult journeys you've ever been on. And it comes, when the energies play out that way, it comes across that way like, oh my gosh, what's happening to me? We also have another aspect of this journey that it also really is a difficult place to come out of. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. It seems like it's going to be the exact opposite of what we talk about when we say this is the most difficult journey. Oh my gosh, what happened to me? I wish this didn't happen to anyone, that kind of thing. This is kind of the flip side of that. Both are your fear-based energy. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And what you're going to want to do, though, is hold on and pay close attention to that link I have in the verbiage below, because that will be the link that will get you started. If you're resonating with this video or any of the videos you've seen, the brilliant videos that Elle puts out, as well as the ones that I put out every so often here and there, you're gonna want to note that button below and even save in your favorites on Facebook these, or if you're in YouTube as well. You're gonna wanna save it, because that's the click that's gonna help you get started on learning how to balance your fear-based energy in order to feel better on this journey. So we're talking today about being enamored on the twin flame journey. There is an aspect that people, like I said, people come in and boom, they're on the floor. They don't know what happened to them. The energy's repelled and they don't even know that. They don't even know that this is energetic. They have no clue what's happening, let alone how to get their feet back on the ground, let alone where do I even begin? And then we have another form of the fear-based energy that happens quite often. And we have people that, students that come in, or anyone who has experienced this journey, and they are enamored with the twin flame journey. And what I mean by that is they're very caught up in the romanticized idealization of what this journey is. Now, it comes so often that it's something very worth talking about. And I'm gonna go through a couple of things that I want you all to remember. First and foremost, is this likely one of the most important journeys to happen to you? Yes, it is. It is the very first steps of your ascension. The things that happen on this journey, you could not make up if you tried. The things you experience, what the highs you have, the lows, you couldn't dream up the actuality of this journey. But is this one of the most important journeys that you will likely ever be on? Yes, it is. Why? Because this journey is about you, folks. It's not about the twin flame. I've said it so many times, hundreds of times. Elle says it all the time as well. It is not about the twin flame. This journey is about you. That's what makes it one of the most important journeys you will ever find yourself on. However, this is typically what happens to so many people. You meet the TF, or the TF, or you get back together with the TF, or the TF is in your life. Those kind of details really doesn't matter. But what happens is when the energies repel, first everything is going great. If you're in that push-pull dynamic with your twin flame, then you're in and out, and then something happens and the energy repels. It's not something in the physical happening. It's just that it has hit, the energy has hit the point of repelling, which it always does. It always does, folks. And you hit that point of repelling and you're all of a sudden in WTF mode. Total, like, what just happened? What just happened? You know, there's this thing that goes on when the repelling of energies happen, that you're just like, you know, not typically, sorry, don't mean to use that word. It can happen in so many different words, but many times, ghosting, they split. They're gone. You can't get in touch with them. They block you on everything, on their phones and social media. They don't want to hear any messages from you. They don't return your calls. They don't want any messages you're giving to others to give to them. None of that. They're just gone. A lot of times that happens. And what happens is when this happens, your fear-based energy goes into berserk mode. It goes into absolute berserk mode. And a lot of times, people start going onto the internet. This is exactly what happened, that played out with me. They'll go on the internet starting to look for information, and they start seeing so many of these other sites. They're beautiful sites, and they're saying, oh, you're on a twin flame journey. Not to bash anyone or anything, but I will come out and say this. There are sites out there with absolute BS, that's right, folks, bullshit information out there. There is, just to help me, you know, kind of get a grip. I kind of looked at a site that a couple of my students have been on and kind of referred back to. And, you know, I am just reading through the first couple paragraphs, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just BS. And what happens is you're in a place, you're looking for anything to make you feel better. So you start reading these sites, you start even, you know, hitting up other gurus, getting into other programs, books, and other things like that. And it's not making you feel better. It'll make you feel better for a little while, because there's, like I said, there's this whole romanticized idealization you're buying into. Oh my gosh, you and your twin flame are connected. You're psychic. You can read each other's mind. You complement each other. You like the same things. What else did I see? And I was like, oh geez, you gotta be kidding me. This is one of the biggest things that I saw, that I was like, oh no, is that they're there and they're gonna help you. They're gonna help you get through all your fears and insecurities. And, you know, while that happens, in a sense, it is not how it plays out in the reality of what the twin flame energies bring forth. This journey is about you. And when I read those sites and I see what my students have gone through or are still indulging in, you know, they're really feeding their fear-based energy. Because what happens? You go on there to make yourself feel better, to find information that you're gonna go, oh, okay, I never understood it before, but I get it now. And, you know, one of the things that people see a lot in these other sites is they always come back. That has nothing to do with the twin flame journey, folks. And it's that reliance and that holding on to this romanticized, idealized version of this journey that continues to feed your fear-based energy. You think you're making yourself feel better because what you're seeing and reading and trying to understand through the mind, it feels good. It's like the twin flame journey, folks, the twin flame, all of this is a drug. And you're giving yourselves the hit you need to sustain that addiction. It's not helping you, especially when you're reading all these things that they're gonna come back, It doesn't matter if they come back. This journey ain't about them. It's about you. It really is about you. So you think you're helping yourself and you're really not. You're feeding your fear-based energy and it'll feel good for a while and then you'll crash again. This happens time and time and time and time again. So this is why people, they get enamored with just this journey. You know, it identifies probably with something that's deep-seated in them, an idealization, a romanticized version of what they think love is. Probably something they learned from a very young age, watching movies, reading books, seeing fairy tales and things like that. So when you stay in that, you are not helping yourself. Now, does that mean that this is not a beautiful journey? Absolutely not. And that's the whole point of why I'm talking about this today. Trust me when I tell you, trust me when I look right at this camera and I tell you, the twin flame journey is even more beautiful when you start to see what it's really about and what your soul is really capable of doing for you in this physical world. Everything is orchestrated by the soul, folks. Everything. So when you find yourself on this journey and you're starting to try to pacify yourself and your fear-based energy by holding on to these enamored beliefs, these romanticized idealizations of what this journey is versus what it really is, then you're just feeding it up. You're gonna feel worse for a longer period of time. If you're sick and tired of that, then you are gonna wanna click on that link below. Keep in mind, folks, keep in mind, anytime you just keep staying engulfed in everything else out there, that's really all BS. When you keep going to tarot readers for the twin flame journey, when you keep going to psychics and people who are teaching you how, or you're learning how to quote unquote cord cut, all of these things, or even when you see all these, namaste sites and, send them love TF sites, no, you're staying in that energy and it's gonna just keep prolonging and prolonging and making you feel worse. So that's a little bit of the flip side of what we talk about when we're saying, so many times, like I said, so many times on the twin flame journey, people are like, I don't want it, I don't need it, get it out of here, that kind of thing, because they're in so much pain. We have this flip side, and both folks are the fear-based energy. Okay, so if you're resonating with what I'm talking about, just kind of take a look at, look at your history on your PC. Look at it. Look at your Google searches. What are you doing? Are you doing the same? You're not helping yourself. You're really not helping yourself. And there's gonna come a time and place where you just say, enough is enough. I'm done feeling like this. Helping you to see that yes, this journey is likely the most important journey to happen to you. It is also not for the ways that you're believing by watching, by looking at all these other sites, by seeing all that BS. Stick with Elle, stick with these videos, stick with our program, and you'll start to feel better. Absolutely guaranteed. All right? Okay, folks, have a wonderful Thursday. We'll talk again soon. God bless everybody. Bye.